Gulliver's Travels, Chapter 2, Prisoner in Lilliput. When I woke up the next morning, I couldn't move. I must still be tired from all that swimming, I thought. But soon I discovered why I couldn't move. My body, arms, and legs were tied to the ground. Even my hair, which was long and thick, was tied down. I couldn't even move my head. How strange, I said to myself. I must be dreaming. The sun grew hot and shone in my eyes. All I could see was the sky. Soon I felt something crawling on my left leg. It must be a bug, I thought. It moved up my body almost to my chin. I looked down and, to my great surprise, saw a tiny man standing on my chest. He was about as big as my thumb, no more than 15 centimeters tall. In his hands, he held a bow and arrows. I felt many more little men crawling over me. In astonishment, I shouted very loudly, "Get off me, you insects!" They all jumped in alarm and screamed in terror. Some of the little men fell right off my body. I tried to loosen the ropes that held me down. Although the ropes were very thin, like thread, there were hundreds of them. Finally, I was able to free my left arm. The tiny men began to shoot arrows at me. Several arrows landed on my hand. Others hit my face and chest. "Stop that! It hurts!" I cried out. I decided to lie still and see what would happen next. The little people gradually became brave and came near me. They built a platform beside my head. One of them, an official of some kind, climbed onto the platform. He started speaking to me, but his language was not like any language I had heard before. The little men seemed friendly now. "I'm so hungry," I said, but they didn't understand me. With my free hand, I used signs to ask for food. The men brought me baskets of many different foods. I also drank 2 barrels of wine. Another official spoke to me, making signs with his hands as he talked. I understood that they were going to take me to another place. I fell asleep again. Later, I found out that the wine had contained something to make me sleep. I also learned about the island and what had happened while I slept. The island was called Lilliput. Its king lived in a castle in Mildendo, the capital city, which had high walls around it. The people made a huge cart and put me on it when I was asleep. I found out that it took 900 men to lift me onto the cart. 1,500 Lilliputian horses were needed to pull it. When we arrived near the city, the guards attached many chains to my ankle. Then they cut the ropes that tied me down. At last I was able to stand up and stretch. But because of the chains, I could not move about much. We were near a very large building just outside the gates of Mildendo. Well, I thought, it seems this building is to be my home. It was big enough for me to crawl into and lie down inside it. From outside my new home, I had a good view of the countryside. They were tiny, like small flower beds in my garden in England. Even the tallest trees were only about 2 meters high. Lilliput was a beautiful place, and everything in it was unbelievably tiny.
Little Fox.